The first clue that something was off about the Murphys' new home arrived on move-in day, about 30 seconds after 13-year-old Gavin bounced down the basement steps to claim the space as his future video game kingdom. There, between a leaning tower of paint cans and an elderly treadmill, stood a karaoke machine so aggressively glittery it looked like a disco ball had exploded and reassembled itself into consumer electronics. It was retro. Sure big silver buttons, rainbow LED equalizer, twin cassette decks, but the embossed label on its front panel positively gloated. Harmony 5000, the ultimate crooning experience. Gavin pressed power, half expecting sparks. Instead, the machine lit up like Times Square and blared a tinny but unmistakable a cappella snippet. "Oh my God, we're back again!" Then it powered itself off. "That's weird," Gavin muttered. He hadn't touched play. That night, the family lay in that half-sleeping state common to boxes-filled houses when the basement erupted. 5 voices harmonized flawlessly through floorboards and HVAC vents. "Quit playing games with my heart." Pots rattled, the dog whined, and the twins thought an ice cream truck had crashed into the laundry room. Mr. Murphy sprinted downstairs, wielding a broom like a jousting lance. By the time he arrived, the song had finished its final key change, and the karaoke machine sat quiet, its power cord dangling loose from the wall. "Electrical short," he announced shakily. Nobody believed him. Not even the electrical outlet, which hadn't hosted a plug all evening. Over the next week, peculiarities escalated. Any attempt to watch television downstairs resulted in the screen freezing and the sound bar defaulting to muffled boy band harmonies. Mrs. Murphy stored dishes on a shelf near the karaoke unit. On Tuesday, she returned to find every plate meticulously arranged to spell bye 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 bye. The dog refused to descend the stairs altogether, choosing instead to growl melodramatically at the basement door like an understudy for Cujo. Gavin, sensing cinematic potential, invited his best friend Leo over for reconnaissance. They armed themselves with glow sticks, a Polaroid camera, and Nerf pistols, standard suburban ghost hunting gear, and tiptoed to the machine. Leo poked the record button. Instantly, the microphone levitated 6 inches, twirled like a baton, and pointed at Gavin's face. "Say, tell me why," the machine demanded in cheery autotune. Gavin obliged. "Ain't nothing but a heartache," it prompted. Both boys screamed instead. The microphone, apparently offended, dropped to the carpet with a wounded squeak. The Murphys called an electrician, who inspected wiring, measured voltage, and politely ignored the moment his toolbox lid slammed shut on its own, cymbal crashing in time with a spontaneous chorus of "I swear" by All For One. He finally declared the circuitry spectacularly normal, scribbled an invoice, and suggested a priest. Father Douglas arrived, brandishing holy water and a crucifix that, by coincidence, looked suspiciously like a platinum microphone award. He recited half a psalm before the karaoke machine hummed, projectors flipping down from the rafters to splash a strobe-lit stage across exposed concrete. Fog hissed from a vent nobody remembered installing. Without warning, Father Douglas was thrust forward by an invisible force, compelled to perform an immaculate boy band turn and snap, followed by jazz hands. "Tell me, who do you love?" he crooned in perfect falsetto. The Murphys joined in on the chorus, against their will, arms puppet-stringed into synchronized choreography. The exorcist fled before the bridge, dropping his crucifix, which the machine immediately used as a mic stand. Only then did the karaoke unit speak in full sentences. Its LED equalizer pulsed like alien language before converting into scrolling text. "Harmony 5000 presents, a very special guest, the late, great Joy Grant." A shimmering outline materialized atop the machine, sideburns, headset mic, wistful denim. He looked equal parts Backstreet Reject and Mall Santa. Long story short, the apparition began, voice filtered through a reverb nobody asked for. "I was the 6th, lesser-known member of every 90s boy band. Stage fog allergy, tragic. I died during a pyrotechnic mishap while rehearsing a key change that would have changed music forever. My spirit got stuck in the nearest electronic device, this cutting-edge karaoke marvel. I can't cross over until I complete one perfect worldwide broadcasted performance. Why our basement? Mrs. Murphy asked. Zoning laws, Joey shrugged. Also, your acoustics slap. Mr. Murphy offered reasonable compromises. We can drive you to Madison Square Garden? Or a nice amphitheater? You'd love Red Rocks. The machine's on/standby light flickered red in what could only be interpreted as laughter. Unplug me and I'll trip every smoke alarm from here to Akron, Joey warned. Besides, I've grown fond of the vibe, unfinished drywall, faint mildew, that treadmill nobody uses. It's like the green room of destiny. When Gavin attempted to lift the unit, it anchored itself with a bass drop vibration that cracked the concrete. Neon lyrics, "I want it that way," flashed across the floor in 20-foot letters. The message was clear. The Harmony 5000 was, as the kids and haunting appliances both say, staying. The Murphys entered negotiation mode. They had a real estate disclosure form ready for resale day but preferred to coexist. Joey listed demands. 1. Friday night rehearsal, mandatory attendance. 2. Unlimited supply of throat-coating tea with honey. 3. Cheesy 90s choreography commitment. No limp wrists, no lazy footwork. 4. Absolutely no modern pop infiltrating set lists. 4. Billie Eilish is wonderful, but purity of era is important, Joey lectured. In return, he promised to haunt politely, no late-night key changes after 10 p.m., minimal dog harassment, and a strict ban on levitating silverware. A paranormal handshake, basically a vigorous flickering of ceiling lights, sealed the contract. Word spread through Maplewood Court. At first, the idea of a haunted basement karaoke machine sounded like the Murphys were auditioning for a reality show called Suburban Nightmares. But curiosity is a virus, and soon teen girls, nostalgic dads, and ironically, enthused college students queued up for Phantom Pop Fridays. Ducking beneath a paper banner Gavin crafted, "Concerns start when the spirit moves us literally." On opening night, Joey manifested in a sparkly windbreaker, declared himself MC, and assigned audience members synchronized clapping duties. He floated around, offering pitch correction and spiritual fist bumps, sometimes occupying the bodies of participants long enough to hit high Cs they didn't know they possessed. The basement vibrated with communal joy and the occasional ceiling thump complaint from upstairs neighbors who couldn't decide whether to dance or call 911. Despite the fun, two complications emerged. First, Joey's obsession with choreographic perfection turned rehearsals into paranormal boot camp. If Gavin missed a step, the washing machine door flung open and pelted him with dryer sheets like tiny scented snowballs. When Mrs. Murphy forgot the words to "Tearing Up My Heart," every light bulb in the house flickered Morse code for "Lyrics on the screen, Karen." Second, the Homeowners Association grew suspicious. Abernathy, HOA president and part-time Stormcloud, insisted noise levels violated subsection 12B, acceptable decibel limits for recreational activities not involving lawnmowers. The Murphys invited her to a show, hoping to charm her with nostalgia. The moment Joey began "I do cherish you," Mrs. Abernathy's stony demeanor melted. By chorus 2, she executed a flawless body roll, her cardigan shimmering with otherworldly sequins. She left clutching a souvenir glow stick and promising to revisit decibel policy with renewed perspective. Someone uploaded a grainy phone video of Joey's apparition harmonizing over Gavin's awkward but enthusiastic beatboxing. Overnight, it accumulated 2.6 million views, titled "Friendly Ghost Goes Full Timberlake." Reporters smelled viral content. Within days, news vans lined the street, satellite dishes aimed at the Murphys' gutters. Joey, intoxicated by potential stardom, announced a live-streamed basement concert to prove he still had the goods. That's when technology joined the resistance. The internet router, overwhelmed, emitted smoke, cell signals died within a 50-foot radius. Laptops powered down, screens flashing error 404, afterlife not found. The Harmony 5000 proclaimed, "No world tour until the home crowd nails the finger spin flourish in Everybody Backstreet's Back." Joey didn't want fame. He wanted closure through perfect artistry, and he was prepared to hold Wi-Fi hostage until Maplewood Court delivered. Rehearsal intensity skyrocketed. The The basement mirrors, yes, the machine had installed mirrors one night while everyone slept, displayed spectral thumbs up or thumbs down after each run-through. Gavin's quads screamed from endless knee drops. Mr. Murphy developed a new respect for boy band cardio, frequently wheezing, "Those lads were athletes," between verses. Even the dog, though still too afraid to descend, howled on pitch from the top step, contributing surprisingly robust tenor notes. Finally, on the 14th Friday, Joey assessed the final dress rehearsal and pronounced it so tight even Lou Pearlman couldn't pull it apart. The Murphys high-fived, then sanitized the entire basement with Febreze to mask rehearsal sweat per the ghost's request for lush meadow ambience. Concert night arrived. Folding chairs crammed every square inch not occupied by exposed plumbing. The HOA supplied baked goods labeled "Bye Pie Bye" and Backstreet Bunt. Mrs. Abernathy worked the door, wearing a lanyard that read "Security" in Comic Sans. A hush fell as basement lights dimmed themselves. The Harmony 5000's equalizer erupted into multicolored life, projecting digital pyrotechnics so convincing someone dialed the fire department. Joey appeared center stage, shimmering brighter than ever, flanked by the Murphys plus Leo and three brave neighborhood teens. They struck a pose, knees bent, fists cocked, eyes full of rehearsed longing. Music thundered. "If you want it to be good, girl, get yourself a bad boy." The performance was, in Gavin's estimation, miraculous. He backflipped off the treadmill thanks ghost-aided gravity reduction. Mrs. Murphy spun into a flawless hair whip usually reserved for shampoo commercials. Even Mr. Murphy's dad bod executed a passable moonwalk. Midbridge Joey split into 5 translucent copies of himself, forming a spectral pentatonics around the living performers. The crowd shrieked, sobbed, recorded shaky videos destined for memes. As the final chord hung in the air, Joey clasped ghostly hands together, eyes shimmering teal. "Thank you, Maplewood Court, you make me larger than life," he shouted, and executed a gentle stage dive that dispersed his form into shimmering confetti of light. The Harmony 5000 powered down, for the first time voluntarily, its LEDs fading like sunset. Silence, even the furnace paused respectfully. The moment stretched so long that Gavin wondered if they should applaud or arrange a séance. Then the karaoke machine's display flickered back on. A single line of text scrolled by. "Perfect score. Achieved. Thank you." Underneath, smaller letters added, "Maintenance mode. Still not moving." Joey Grande, it seemed, had crossed over. But the Harmony 5000? It bore the stubborn soul of a CRT television. Too bulky to haul up the stairs, too charismatic to junk. Plus, it had become Maplewood Court's unofficial mascot. Weeks later, life settled into a new routine. The machine stayed quiet most days, emitting only the occasional hum that sounded suspiciously like the opening bars to Step by Step. Phantom Pop Fridays remained on the calendar, but now they were optional. The machine politely pinged phones with calendar invites instead of hijacking them. Noise complaints ceased because neighbors preferred free concerts to silence. Gavin discovered a lucrative side hustle renting the basement for retro birthday parties. The HOA, once draconian, proudly advertised Joey's farewell performance on its website. "Historical highlight, our neighborhood once hosted a transcendent 90s specter. Ask about tour dates." Even Father Douglas returned, not to exercise, but to duet "I'll Never Break Your Heart, I'll Never Break Your Heart," hitting a high note so pure the sump pump cap blew off in applause. Every so often, though, the Harmony 5000 reminded everyone who held the master remote. At precisely 3:13 a.m., the time of Joey's fatal pyrotechnic mishap, the basement lights dimmed, and the machine belted 5 solemn yet catchy notes. "Tell me why," like a cosmic sound check. Then it shut itself off. Gavin, half awake, would smile into his pillow. Somewhere beyond, Joey was on eternal tour, perhaps moonwalking across star clusters. Downstairs, his former prison had become the neighborhood jukebox, a reminder that even haunted electronics just want to feel the beat and maybe enforce a little choreography. In the grand ledger of suburban peculiarities, the Murphys decided, a karaoke machine with an afterlife of its own ranked far below black mold or foundation cracks. They kept a dedicated shelf of throat-coating tea, stocked glow sticks with the diligence some families reserve for batteries, and nailed a laminated sign to the basement door. No trespass point unless you know all the words to I Want It That Way. Underneath, in smaller letters, seriously, the machine likes commitment. One autumn evening, as leaves skittered over driveways and the thermostat flipped begrudgingly to heating, Gavin descended for homework and found the machine awake, gently illuminating stacked boxes with soft blue light. A new message scrolled across its screen. Solo mode enabled, care for a do-it? He weighed algebra against the offer for a millisecond. The microphone floated toward him, its cable curling into a question mark. He grabbed it, heart thumping. Only if we start with larger than life, he said. The instrumental kicked in, and somewhere between first verse swagger and that ridiculously high pre-chorus, Gavin felt Joey's presence, a supportive echo rather than a possessive force. Together they sang, Boy and Ghost Machine, filling a suburban basement with enough harmonized nostalgia to shake the rafters and maybe, just maybe, rattle open whatever door cuts between the ordinary and the utterly extraordinary. Upstairs, nobody complained. They were, after all, back again,